Hey, everybody. Jared Wade with Yoko Co. And today I'm joined by Melissa and Jenna. And we are very excited to be here because it's very cold outside. And being inside is a wonderful. I just heard right before we started that Jenna, your furnace went out, or what happened?
Yeah. Well, living in Green Bay where it was like -20 for the last like week or two, I think our furnace was just like, nope, not today. Um, so just
Oh
had
my
to,
gosh! Did you get it fixed? Like, is it all
yeah,
good?
yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah.
There is heat. You have
Yeah.
heat, and that's the important thing.
If
Well,
there
if
wasn't, I'd be in a hotel. So
There you go. Problem solved.
and you could still do this. You'd be set up in the bathroom or whatever, or however you can set up camera equipment. And Jenna is like a professional podcaster as well, aren't you?
oh, rough. Oh, it's like a pipe dream for it to be a professional. Um
It's on the interwebs, like it's out there, right? Like I think that's the biggest hurdle that most people have is like they want to do something, but then they just don't take the steps to do it. You've done it, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Look at you.
I
That's
know.
exciting.
Yeah, we hit like 500 downloads the other day. So
Are you
That's great.
serious?
yeah.
Not just family and friends.
No. Well, it's like
Yeah.
lifetime since we launched in November, but yeah, we got up to 500 downloads and that was
Nice.
a really big deal. So we're very excited.
Yeah, like how cool, like man, that's legit. Like 500
Yeah.
downloads, and most of them I presume are not like you or
No.
your family. You just have different
Oh,
iPod Nanos set up all over the place downloading.
I'm
iPod Nano.
pretty sure only my brother-in-law, who has no business listening to my podcast at all, listens to it regularly. So
Oh, well, way to go. Way to go. Melissa, do you have a podcast?
I do not. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. I do not have a podcast.
But you do have a different piece of technology that we just found out about, right?
Oh, yes. What did I accidentally called it a paperweight, but my paperwhite Kindle. Yes. We're hoping it doesn't become a paperweight.
That's
That's the hope.
true.
Yeah.
So you've got the audio side, you've got the reading side. You're covering the spectrum. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Glad to have you here for episode number 5, I think, of Yoko Co Live. And today we're talking about content. But before we jump into content, I want to take just a hot second here and let's start with Melissa. Melissa and Jenna, briefly going to introduce yourselves, give us a high-level overview of who you are, what you do here at Yoko Co. What makes you you? Melissa, kick us off.
Yeah, thank you. Melissa Franko, client relationship manager here at Yoko Co. So essentially what that means is I get involved in early conversations with maybe some new clients or existing clients and try to understand goals and needs, especially with existing clients. A lot of times in projects, you're so focused on that finish line of the main thing you're working on that a lot of times things will come up. Let's push that to phase 2, or that becomes a parking lot idea. So I really like to come in and try to bring those things to life. Once the main site or whatever that project is that launches, it shouldn't just live on its own and exist in a vacuum. So we like to keep things moving in a progressive manner. And so that's really where I come in and help facilitate that. I was also previously a project manager here at Yoko Co for a couple of years as well. And 25 plus years prior to that of agency life, marketing, consulting, advertising, events, a whole slew of things. So that's a little bit about me.
That's fantastic. We appreciate
Yeah.
you being here, and the insight that you're going to bring is going to be extremely valuable. So thank you so much, Melissa.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jenna, podcaster extraordinaire. What do you do here at Yoko Co?
oh goodness, what don't I do, Jared? I'm just totally joking. But I am a UX strategist. I've been at Yoko Co for probably coming up on 2 years in February. Um, I am the organizational brain in taking websites or digital projects and planning them all out, making sure we're always thinking about our users, documenting all of the things. People love to joke how much I adore my color-coded spreadsheets, but hey,
Great spreadsheets.
gets the job done.
Mhm.
I also help plan not just the how is a website project architect, but also the content side of things too. So before coming to Yoko, I was an art director and a graphic designer and a web designer for an agency here in Green Bay, and for many, many years. And with that came a lot of learning about websites, user experience, content. It was a full service marketing agency. So I definitely have that mindset when working on websites is not just in a vacuum. It's very much a cornerstone of someone's marketing strategy, and it really shouldn't be its own thing, and it should be integrated throughout your organization. And I guess I have a podcast.
Did we talk about that yet?
With 500 downloads, you got to keep, you got to put that somewhere in there now. Whenever you talk about it,
I guess.
Right.
the downloads are fantastic. Well, Jenna, thank you for jumping on today's episode. Today we're talking about content, talking about content strategy, talking about content as a whole. And I think the best place to start when you're talking about content is just let's make sure that we're all on the same page. If you're watching and maybe you're a volunteer for an organization or you're thinking about, hey, I want to do something in the marketing or website world or something along those lines, understanding the verbiage that is used is always super duper helpful. So, Melissa, I'm going to throw this one over to you. Can you kind of just help us focus in on when we talk about content, what is that?
Yeah, it encompasses more than just the words, right? So it's not just the copy, which is obviously a very important part of the puzzle, but content also encompasses things like PDFs, forms, video embeds, podcasts, even your images. So when we're looking holistically at your website content, we're taking all of those pieces into account, not just the words on your homepage, but everything from homepage to the deepest page, forms, PDFs, all of those pieces of the puzzle.
So there's quite a bit. Like on a normal web page, I mean, how many, on average, like how many pieces of content are on a page? And I know it varies from site to site, so there's going to be a very large differential here, but could it go from 1 to 5, or could it go from like 5 to 100 pieces of content? Like what?
Yeah.
How much variety are we talking about here?
Strategically, you don't want to get to that big number, right?
Okay.
You're trying to keep it as focused as possible, but you could have a page that's serving as informational. So you're going to have your copy. You'll have some imagery. You could also have a form to get more information. You could have a really heavy, medical piece of information that lives in a PDF. And that all could exist on one page together.
Interesting. Jenna, when you're working with different pieces of content and you're doing the things that you do so very well, like what's some of the first questions that process through your brain when you're figuring out, hey, does it make sense here? And I know we're going to talk about this a little bit further on in the conversation, but just right off the bat, when you're thinking about imagery and forms and podcasts, even like what jumps out at you initially when you're looking at a website from a UX standpoint?
The very first question I always ask myself, like in that reviewing stage and kind of getting like lay of the land, is who is actually utilizing this site? What tasks are they trying to accomplish? How did they get here? A lot of people think, oh, they got here by typing the URL in and they landed on my homepage. Most of the time, they don't come in through your homepage. Most of the time, they come in through organic search. They come in through referral links. They come in through emails. So every entryway into your site is really important. So understanding who they are, what they want to do, and where they came from are kind of like the top 3 that it really sets the tone for how content should be functioning on a page.
Sure. And when it's not functioning, I would imagine that causes some frustration and complications in not only the design, but also who you're talking to. And I know that we use the phrase pain points a lot, and even the interwebs uses the term pain points a lot. So I kind of want to go in that direction back to you, Melissa, about, you've been with Yoko for quite a few years from, the project management standpoint, but also what you're doing now, which is still a drying clay, if you will, of, figuring out who you get to work with and how you interact with them and whatnot. But the cool thing is, I think that you have a unique viewpoint in being able to see and understand from not only Yoko's perspective, but also from the organizations that we get to work with. What are those pain points that you see popping up frequently? What are those things that are, consistently showing up in conversations with clients in regards to content?
Yeah, and I think it applies because we work with clients that have a team of one or a team of 10. They have a lot of stakeholders involved, or two people get to make the decisions. But I think a lot of these things are the same across the board. And a lot of it has to do with outdated content or content that doesn't have a clear purpose. It's not well organized. It was just added there because somebody said it needed to go up on the website and nobody was really sure where to put it, but we just have to get it up there. A lot of times too, the pain point is around the way the content is written. So it's not really consistently written in the same language, the same brand language, or it's not properly formatted for the web. And so the readability goes down. And a lot of times too, it's just boils down to the content is difficult to find. And all of those things kind of bubble up to that problem. And another thing that we hear too, especially for organizations that maybe have recently gone through a rebrand, or their site is really, really outdated and their brand has not done a full rebrand, but maybe they've done a refresh or something internal, but not external. That website being such a large marketing tool for them, sometimes there's a dissonance between the current content that's on the site and their rebrand efforts or their internal refresh efforts. So those are a lot of things we tend to see bubble up to the surface most often.
Interesting. Jenna, any additional insight that you can give from what's really fun, I think, about this conversation is like we have two different spots where things happen in the creative process. So Jenna, anything that you can add in onto that?
A lot of questions of like, where does this go? I don't know where this is supposed to live. It's in the wrong place. We always joke about with our clients of those initial stages of our process when we're doing like the content inventories and everything. It's more like marketing therapy because all of your problems are all laid out in front of you and you're like, I have to deal with all of you now.
What is it that we say, like your website is not your filing cabinet?
Correct. Yes, It is not your filing cabinet. It is just like the tip of the iceberg of what your organization does and provides, and it really shouldn't be an archive of everything.
So what should it be? Like if you were to simplify, what your website should be, what would Jenna's answer be to that?
It really should be a means of enticing people to take action. It shouldn't be the end result. It shouldn't, like, when a user comes to your site, that's not the end of the funnel. Like, I know we talk about like sales funnels and it's kind of like an outdated term, and we can talk about user journeys and navigating through a website, but really that entry point into your brand and to your organization is that website. And it does a lot of heavy lifting, like crazy amounts. So you have to give it the care and the intentionality. That's a lot of like what we hear is, we don't know where to put this, or I'm not sure this is communicating what I need it to. And the users are probably feeling the same way. We always say that websites are for your users first and foremost. Then you and your organizational needs are secondary. It goes against everything that we feel as humans of like me first all the time, please. But when your website is that top of the funnel and it's enticing people to take action, That's the purpose, period. Take action. What are you going to do next? What are you going to click on next? What are you going to read next? Or what event are you going to do next? So that's pretty much it, but I could talk about this for hours.
Yeah, I was just going to say, to your point about sort of not knowing where things live and trying to figure out what those priorities are. When you have a lot of stakeholders involved in the project, not everything can be important to everyone all the time. So a big part of what we work through in those therapy sessions are listening to what everybody has to say, taking all of that in, and then filtering that through, to Jenna's point. Okay, what are we really trying to achieve? What is the call to action here? So, not trying to hurt feelings, but it can't be all things to all people all the time. And sometimes that's hard for people to hear, but we want it to be successful and achieve, is it increased membership? Is it increased event attendance? Those types of things are really important to get to the heart of sooner rather than later.
So how do you approach a website, specifically the content on the website, with the understanding that that is the end goal? Like when you, and I think here in a little bit, we're going to talk about some actionable steps that those that are watching can, very easily do on their own website. But before we get to there, how would you approach to know that you're enticing the users to stay and, focusing on the purpose? I feel, Jenna, this might be maybe more aligned for you.
Well, you almost have to set your rules right at the top. You need to have some guiding principles in place, or else you're just going to be making erroneous decisions and be like, this looks good. I don't know. What about this? Let's try this. A/B testing is great, but we don't need to do it everywhere. So having some guiding principles, identifying who's on your site, what they're trying to do, and then creating that hierarchy is really important too. Not everything is going to be ultra important. The content on your site is not all listed at the very top of your page. If it is, I'm very sorry. Let me help you. But we also want people to know, okay, this is a column of pages. These are like items. This is another column of pages. How did I get over here? So we want the content to flow. A really good analogy is you have your primary navigation items at the top. Underneath those, you have a drop down with some secondary. Sometimes you even have some tertiary and 4th, 5th level pages. Top level should be, the content on that should be really high level. Very low attentions, short attention span moments. Secondary pages, okay, cool, they've clicked on things. Let's give them a little bit more information. Tertiary, that 3rd level, if they've gotten there, get out of the way and just give them the stuff. You don't need to overcomplicate anything. And so on and so forth. But we want it to be a progression. But you need to know why people are there in the first place in order to even start a progression. So,
and
interesting.
We take that into account very early on in the process, where we look at if we have data from Google Analytics tools, looking at what are people doing, where are they going, trying to put that full story together, and also marry that with who is your audience, and looking at kind of using the content to bridge who they are and where they're trying to go, and making sure that the content aligns with those particular audiences and those goals, because they might be a little bit different.
Yeah.
So there's a nuance there too.
So when you're viewing, or when you're getting this data, this information on users and, where they're at, is there, without looking completely behind the curtain, is there a tool? Is there something that maybe somebody could use to just do a quick analysis of their website to at least see, oh, hey, here are the peak performers, so to speak. Here are the pages. Here are the areas that are bringing in a majority.
Are you asking me to talk about analytics, Jared? Because
Oh boy.
No, I just said, is there a tool that somebody could use?
Okay. Ding, ding, ding. Sir, Google Analytics. long answer.
Buckle up, everybody. Get a drink, make some popcorn.
Yeah. So this is, brace yourself. In GA4, you will be looking at landing pages, traffic acquisition, and engagement. Those are like your 3 biggies. Hot tip: take screenshots of those, put them into Google, put them into ChatGPT or Claude or one of the robots, and have it analyze it for you. State what your goals are as an organization. State what kind of organization you are. Are you an association? Are you a trade association? Are you a nonprofit? What are your goals as a business? And have it compare those with the screenshots of the data. It's the easiest way to start to learn what your data is telling you. And don't be scared of it, because if people are tracking if they're allowing you to track their data in GA4, you're allowed to look at it and analyze it. So it really shouldn't be that scary. It's just a moment of kind of like taking like the lay of the land, like setting your route and starting to like walk a little bit forward. You don't have to sprint. You don't have to take an airplane. Like this is like step number like 2 or 3 in your content strategy journey.
Gotcha. And having that data can really help inform some difficult conversations you may need to have with internal teams to support reasons of why or why not things may be where they are. So the more that you can have to help inform those conversations, whether it was past decisions, reflections, or looking forward, data is your friend.
Yes, please.
Well, it sounds like this is kind of step 1 in, if we were to kind of give the viewers hey, here are 2 or 3, maybe 4 steps, instead of reinventing the wheel and starting from scratch and whatnot. This sounds like step 1 in a multi-step process that's very easy. So recapping real quick, step 1, Google Analytics, jump in there, who's using the site, but it sounds like also, why are they using it connects back into the content of, what are they looking for, what's pulling them in there. So, okay, that's my tee up for you there, Jenna and Melissa, is we've established step 1. What's the next few steps for, an easy, I don't know what we want to call it, like a self audit, if you will, a content audit.
Yeah. Content audits are like, it's an actual like step in our process. And they can be daunting, like I said, because we're laying it all out. We're looking at every single thing. But after you understand how people are currently using it, you have to align yourself and your organization with, does that align with us? Are those 2 things jiving? Even if you don't need to update your content right away, look at those analytics like quarterly. You don't want to be on there every week, because that just too much stress. No one needs that. I don't even need that. And I love Google Analytics. So just start with identifying if the current data is aligning with your current goals. Does something need to be adjusted? And then give yourself a goal of, I want to improve X, Y, and Z. I want to improve engagement. I want to improve time on site. So how long people are spending on your website. I want to improve where we're ranking in an SEO in Google keywords. Or even it can be as simple as, I just want to clean up our content. Set some goals. And then after that, then it's doing the actual content inventory, where you export all the URLs from your site. There's lots of different tools on the market to do that. And you just go chunk by chunk, prioritize it. What's really important for me to assess? Do I need to edit it? Keep it as is? Maybe update some imagery, update some PDFs, if you have that as like a tangible thing for your users. Or do I need to completely scrap this page and rethink my life? I'm just totally joking. But maybe we need to split apart pages. Maybe we need to reorganize some things. Putting it in like an actual document and keeping your goals as like a cheat sheet over on the side is a really easy way to either stay motivated or stay on track and not go down a content rabbit hole.
Like cleaning out your closet. It can become really overwhelming very quickly.
And then you just interrupt your life and go to the Container Store and feel so much better.
Exactly.
I've never been to a Container Store. Are they really that amazing? I felt like I just broke Jenna's brain. Like she just shut down for a minute there.
I like glitched in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Well, if you have any sense of needing order in order to function mentally, then it is like a warm hug. Oh, I love it. But if you're like, hey, I can function in chaos, you probably just won't get it.
You won't get it.
You just won't understand.
No.
Well, now I feel like I want to reach out to the Container Store and see if they'll sponsor one of these episodes, and just for the sake of being able to say, hey, this episode's sponsored by the Container Store. I think I live more in the chaos area, so if I went into a Container Store, I might have to knock stuff over just to be like, okay, there's the warm and fuzzy that I was expecting.
No. No.
Do you see the office that is behind me?
It's immaculate.
It's like this every single day.
Have you seen our spreadsheets?
That's true. You both are big spreadsheet. This is why I don't get into your guys' spreadsheets, because I feel like I would like, oh, hey, look, there's a picture of a llama. Why is that there? I don't know. Jared probably put it there for some reason. Who knows why? But the nice thing is I feel like the entire team would embrace the llama and would be completely okay with, well, why is there a llama? Jared put it there. Fair enough.
100%.
And move on.
Like you and Chris Yoko, you're like chucking like, I don't know, hand grenades of chaos, and you're just cool with it. And all of us, it keeps us on our toes.
Hand grenades of chaos. I like that. That's another band name right there.
It's a little aggressive terminology, but it has a nice visual to it.
Yeah.
It's like confetti comes out of the hand grenade.
Embrace it.
All right. So if somebody were to go through and clean out the closet, so to speak, that Melissa did a fantastic job of creating an analogy for. I know that in our household, we don't clean out the closet every week or every other week. Would you recommend like a certain cadence of they're just for maintaining and making sure that they stay on top of things?
Absolutely. Good place to start, twice a year. And if you're feeling like an overachiever, do it quarterly. And it really depends on the size of your site, how often like you update it. Are you adding new notes, like news posts? Are you adding a lot of resources? Are you even having additional authors being on the bylines of articles? Are you having a lot of cross-linking? Are you featuring different people? If you're updating it frequently, like once a week you're adding a new piece of content, then do it quarterly. If you're really not touching things, unless it's like an annual meeting or a press release, then you can do it like twice a year. So like seasonal closet, or like keeping it, these are my core items. This is like my capsule collection. If we want to continue that lovely synonym. So if you don't know where to start, I would say once a week, do 2 pages. And that's it. Just start, see if you can do that. I know a lot of people have like webmaster team of 1 or marketing director team of 20 hats and me. So you want to be able to not overwhelm yourself and keep yourself motivated. We could do a whole nother one on keeping your website not chaotic in the back end so you don't get hives when you try to go in there.
That's a lot of characters for the title. I don't know if I could fit all of those into the title, but we can
I'll work
it
on
out.
It. I'll work working title.
Yeah,
that is an important point though, Jenna, is I think a lot of what we've talked about today has been very much the front end of the site and how your users navigate the content. But it's important for those of you managing the website on the back end to be able to have something that is not chaos for you, team of one, or if you have multiple team members working in the back end, it needs to make sense in that environment too. So
Different episode.
Different episode. I know.
I agree. Great topic. Another episode. If you are watching and you want to get a little bit more information, we actually have a really wonderful blog post on our website. It's been linked in the description below, probably wherever you're watching this, on the YouTubes or the Instagrams, or no, we're not on Instagrams, on the LinkedIns and the Facebooks, all of those, the MySpaces and the Friendsters. That's where we're going next, is we're hitting all of them.
Wait, are we doing the TikTokers too? No,
we should do the top
and
10.
Vine's coming back, right?
Well, I'm going to get Ray on, and we're just going to do TikTok trends and dances, and that's the entire show. Is going to be nothing.
Be the best episode ever.
Yeah. I think we're going to get 501 downloads.
There you go.
I shall subscribe.
Okay, good. Melissa, Jenna, as we wrap up, any last Hail Mary, hey, don't forget about this thing that you want to throw out there to those that are listening, watching, and engaging?
Just breathe.
Yeah,
just breathe.
Breathe, and don't be afraid to ask for help. If you don't know what you're doing and you're like, I feel like a blind squirrel looking for an acorn in the middle of winter, we can help you with that.
It's very, very true. But no, I love that. Just breathe. It will be okay. If you do need help, if you need some encouragement, some support, if you need to talk to somebody, feel free to reach out to us. YokoCo.com is our website. This is what we do all the time, and we have a fantastic team of people all across the country. Several of them have been commenting as you both have been talking. I don't know if you've seen the comments or not, but they're showing up in there. So very supportive environment.
Thanks,
so yeah, feel free to reach out if there's anything that we can do to support you. Melissa, Jenna, congratulations. You've done your first Yoko Co Live. You did it. Yay! Woo-hoo. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully you are staying warm. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.